The past decade has brought us many wonderful games with the title like Red Dead Redemption 2 and The Last of Us, raising the bar for interactive entertainment. Still, not every title released in the last 10 years has been a winner. For every AAA home run, there were plenty of projects that missed the mark. Even a game supported by lofty goals and good intentions can fall perilously short of its creator's vision, leaving the industry to figure out how it all went wrong. That's the nature of the business. No matter which decade you are in, with that in mind, here's a look back at some of the games that were universally disliked the last 10 years. Some titles were simply cases of wasted potential, while others were really as bad as their reputation suggests. From the offensively violent to the poorly conceived, these are the worst rated games of the last decade. Watch the video till the end because the last games are the ones you definitely played. If you are new here, subscribe and turn notifications on and comment on your favorite game. Number 1. The Quiet Man. Released in 2018, The Quiet Man is baffling from every angle. It's hard to understand how anyone involved believed they were making a good product. Though an action game with a deaf protagonist is an interesting concept, developer Human Head Studios portrays this by showing you a series of muted cutscenes. The title lacks a tutorial, and you will have to fumble with the controls to figure them out. Through the series of repetitive fight scenes, in an even weirder design choice, you are forced to finish the game to unlock a second playthrough that includes sound and dialogue. Games Radar Plus took the game to task for its nonsensical plot. The Quiet Man is just a misguided disaster. Number 2. Agony. Agony released in 2018 following a highly successful Kickstarter campaign. The game, which followed a damn soul's quest to escape from hell, received quite a bit of attention as an adults-only title and for its original series intend to release separate unedited version. When it released, Agony received almost universally negative reviews. Much of the condemnation centered on the game's perceived try-hard nature, with the disgusting visual and edgy narrative feeling like they took precedence over the actual gameplay. Once criticized Agony for its treatment of female characters, mentioning all the women who strut around the world without clothes, who scream of pull it out become environmental texture, and who the game constantly specifically goes out of its way to violently degrade. Despite the overwhelming censure, a Nintendo Switch port of Agony released in October 2019 just in case anyone wants to go to portable hell. NBA 2K20. NBA 2K20 divided critics and fans. On Metacritic, the PC release of NBA 2K20 averages 74 out of 100 with critics. Consensus among fans seemed to be that they feel ignored. Reviewers on Steam felt robbed of content, criticizing the game's many server connectivity issues and the heavy reliance on microtransactions, which made many players feel like the game was pay to win. Others felt the title failed to evolve from previous installments in the franchise. Reskin of the last year's game basically, and horrible microtransaction enforced modes, wrote one user can enjoy the joint player without spending above the already high cost of games. Best NBA product on the market, unfortunately, it's still really horrible, just a monopoly. It seems as a stand-alone game, it did fine with the critics. Number 4. Fallout 3. Chaos and Destruction. The Fallout series is a mixed fun of traditional racing game and mechanics, vehicle combats with an emphasis on realistic damage. 2011's Fallout 3 Chaos and Destruction was the first game in the franchise, developed without the input of Bugbear Entertainment. The original developer, and it seems nothing special, was lost in the transition. Reviews centered on the game's awful opponent, AI and buggy tracks, while even the solid concept carried over the previous entries, including the trademark damage system. Playing against the computer in Fallout 3 is like playing online against an entire field of griefers, all fixated on running the race for each other. There is no consistency with how the game handles damage received and dealt. Number 4. Ride to Hell. Retribution. When first announced in 2008, Ride to Hell seemed poised to become the ideal fusion of Grand Theft Auto style, mayhem and Sons of Anarchy aesthetic. Keep this in mind, this was before the Rockstar did that themselves with Grand Theft Auto 4, The Lost in the Demand. When Ride to Hell Retribution finally dropped in 2013, critics blasted the game for its ugly graphics, subpar brawling mechanics, and surprisingly terrible driving controls. The long gap between the announcement and the release, along with its numerous faults, all point towards a difficult development style. You can see in the number of features dropped from the game over the course of its production. Right to Hell originally included hundreds of licensed songs and a much more open world to the characters of Trevor. Everything about its lifespan and publishing suggests Right to Hell's owner just wanted to salvage whatever work had been done and get on with life. Rainbow the video game. Movie tie-in gamers are usually hit or miss when it comes to quality, but Sylvester Stallone is one actor who seems to consistently strikes out when it comes to video games adaptation of his films. 1995, Judge Dredd was about as uninteresting as the movie that spawned it, while 2002's Rocky was a glitchy mess. It should come as no surprise that 2014's Rambo the video game was less than stellar. Rambo the video game arrived 6 years after the previous Rambo film, 5 years before the next, making it weird timing for an adaptation. Whatever motivated its development and release, the game debuted as a barely functioning mess that wasted its lead character and premise. Number 7. Room in the Night Sky. The fact that 2017's Room in the Night Sky was a launch title for the Nintendo Switch is genuinely hunting. The cutesy magical racing game feels half-baked in every regard. It's not all the kind of release that would inspire confidence in a new console, though it has many flaws. The biggest strike against Room in the Sky is lack of content. There's barely enough there to justify the purchase. You can complete the game within 1 or 2 hours, but even those brief races feel inconsequential and buggy. The graphics are low quality and collecting Stardust to buy new bikes for your character feels pointless since the controls are laggy and imprecise no matter which vehicle you are using. Even a later patch seemed to focus on all of the wrong elements. Developers VoiceSoft updated the poor Japanese to English translation of the script. Number 8. Fighter Within. This 2013 launch title for the Xbox One intend to take full advantage of Kinetic's ability, offering a change for gamers to feel like they are in a real fight. Unfortunately, as pointed out as Polygon's Daniel Renato, Fighter Within failed to properly read players' movement, resulting in games plagued by rampant technical issues and iffy writing. Most of the game's reviews seem to concur with the sentiment, with critics and fans alike observing the game had a solid premise marred by bugs and unresponsive controls. The real bummer is that this was the second game in the series to suffer the same issues, coming after the equally reviled Xbox 360 Kinetic title Fighters Uncaged. Yes, the motion tracking isn't as bad as in Fighters Uncaged, and yes, at least there is 2-player combat this time, but that's pretty much like applying lipstick to an ugly pig.